From childhood, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was highly regarded for his honesty, truthfulness, valor, justice, piety, patience, modesty, and hospitality. Abu Talib described Muhammad: "He is fair and handsome. From his visage, mercy falls like rain. He is a shelter for the orphan and protector of widows." Muhammad, peace be upon him, maintained good relations with his family, bore others' burdens, and guided the destitute towards self-sufficiency. Muhammad, peace be upon him, never attended any of the important local festivals and fairs that revolved around idol worship and drinking. He was also very careful not to eat the flesh of any animal slaughtered in the name of someone other than Allah, and avoided touching or even coming close to the idols. With this aversion to some of the most cohesive social ties in Meccan society, it was inevitable that Muhammad would grow apart from his fellow Meccans and their depraved way of life that included public drunkenness and female infanticide. He began to long for solitude and preferred to spend his time alone, away from the noisy festivals and crowded markets. Muhammad, peace be upon him, felt the need to save his people from the destruction he felt was imminent. His discontent grew and he began to take refuge in the cave of Hira. Here he would spend long periods alone and worship the one true God, Allah. Following monotheistic practice of his forefather Ibrahim alayhi salam for 3 consecutive years, he spent the month of Ramadan in the cave. He would then return to Makkah, circumambulate the Kaaba, and then go back to home. Late one Monday night, just before sunrise on 21st of Ramadan 610 CE, an event transformed the life of the man chosen to deliver Allah's message, just as it would change the lives of countless beings, most of whom were yet to be born. According to the lunar calendar, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was 40 years, 6 months, 12 days old, and according to solar calendar, he was 39 years, 3 months, and 22 days old. He was alone in the cave of Hira, engaged in the worshipping of Allah. According to Aisha Radhiyallahu Ta'ala Anha, Prophet, peace be upon him, first began to have revelations in the form of good dreams which came true. Then he began to like solitude. He would go to cave of Hira and meditate there in solitude for a number of days and nights. This was his practice until the truth was revealed to him by an angel while he was in the cave of Hira. The angel said to him, "Read." "I can't read," Muhammad, peace be upon him, replied. The angel took hold of him and pressed him until he could not endure it any longer. The angel let him go and said once again, "Read." "I can't read," Muhammad, peace be upon him, replied. The angel took hold of him second time and pressed him until he could not endure it any longer. Third time the angel said, "Read." "I can't read," Muhammad, peace be upon him, repeated. The angel took hold of him and pressed him until he could not endure it any longer. The angel released him and said, "Read in the name of your Lord, the Creator. He who created man from clod. Read, and your Lord is most bounteous." The Prophet, peace be upon him, was terrified and his heart was pounding hard. He returned home to Khadija and said, "Cover me, cover me." Khadija covered him and helped him calm down. He related what had happened in the cave and said, "I fear that something has happened to me." "Never," Khadija replied. "I swear by Allah, Allah would never disgrace you. You keep good relations with your family, help the feeble and destitute, serve your guests generously, and assist the needy." Khadija then took him to her cousin, the old and venerable Warqa bin Nawfal. Warqa knew Hebrew and was familiar with the Gospels, having left paganism for Christianity. "What have you seen, my nephew?" asked Warqa bin Nawfal. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told him what had happened in the cave. "The angel that was sent to you was the same that Allah sent to Moses. I wish I was young and could live to see the day your own people drive you out of this city." "Will they drive me out?" the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked. "Yes," replied Warqa. "Never has a man brought something such as what you have brought without meeting hostility. If I live to see the day you are expelled, you with all my might." A few days later, however, Warqa died, and long time passed before the Prophet received a second revelation. The Quran tells us that first revelation descended in Ramadan on the night of power. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. We have indeed revealed this message during the night of power. After Jibreel first appeared before Muhammad, peace be upon him, at the cave of Hira, a long time passed without any further revelation. A distressed Muhammad, peace be upon him, feared Allah had abandoned him. Why had his Lord deserted him? In the moments of despair, he would want to throw himself off the mountain, but then he would sense the appearance of Jibreel's presence and become calm again. This interim period was time of contemplation, a time for Muhammad, peace be upon him, to prepare himself for what lay ahead. One day, on returning from cave of Hira, a strange event took place. The Prophet described the event. When I descended the mountain and came to the valley, I heard the voice saying, Muhammad, you are the Prophet of Allah and I am Jibreel. Then I raised my head on the horizon. I saw the angel who had come to me in the cave of Hira. I was filled with awe and bowed towards the earth. I hurried home to Khadija and asked to wrap me up. She put blanket around me and sprinkled water on me. It was this time the Prophet received second revelation.